What if you could tackle a massive environmental problem with a snack? It sounds kind of wild, right? Well, that's the big idea behind a business plan for a company called EcoBite Utensils. They want you to finish your meal and then eat your spoon. So let's break down how this whole thing is supposed to work.
I want you to just imagine this for a second. You're finishing up a bowl of ice cream, it's delicious, but instead of tossing that plastic spoon into a bin where it'll sit for hundreds of years, you just eat it. That one simple, almost crazy question is the entire foundation of this business. So, what exactly is this stuff? Well, the blueprint is for utensils made from a blend of totally natural grains. Think rice, wheat, and sorghum. They're engineered to be strong enough to get you through your meal, but the cool part is what happens after. You can eat it like a little biscuit, or if you don't want to, you can just toss it and it'll biodegrade naturally. Either way, no plastic waste. Okay, now let's get into the real nitty-gritty of the EcoBite business plan. First up, we're going to look at what exactly they're making and, just as importantly, who they're planning to sell it to. Now, this isn't just about some boring, tasteless spoon. No, the strategy here is to have an entire menu of cutlery. We're talking spoons in both sweet and savory versions, and even edible forks and knives. And get this, they come in different flavors like plain, masala, and even chocolate. They're also clearly thinking about the future, with gluten-free options already on the roadmap. So who's actually buying edible spoons? Well, the target market is surprisingly huge. The plan focuses a lot on other businesses, like restaurants, cafes, and street food vendors who create a ton of plastic waste. But they're also looking at big-time event caterers, schools, colleges, and, of course, selling directly to people like you and me who just want to be a little more eco-friendly. Look, any great business needs a roadmap, right? And this plan lays out a really compelling 5-year journey. It shows exactly how they plan to go from a tiny local kitchen operation to a brand with some serious global ambition. The whole roadmap follows this classic step-by-step growth plan. You start small, really local in year 1. Then, once that's working, you expand to nearby cities in year 2. Year 3 is all about adding new products to the lineup. Then you hit the gas in year 4 with a national scale-up, and finally, the big one, going global in year 5. In that critical first year, the goal is super simple and grounded. It's all about proving the concept works. The whole approach is to just start selling in local farmers markets and to a few small independent cafes. Get that crucial feedback and build from the ground up. And then you jump from that humble start all the way to year 5, and wow, the vision is huge. The ultimate goal isn't just to sell a lot of spoons. It's to become a global, sustainable solution, to actually enter international markets and make a real, measurable dent in the world's plastic problem. So how do they get there? That first year is all about laying the groundwork. First, they have to perfect the recipes and test durability. I mean, nobody wants a spoon that dissolves in their hot soup, right? After that, it's about setting up a small production line, getting all the official food safety approvals, and then finally launching in those local markets. A great idea is one thing, but a real business needs an engine. It needs a clear plan for making money and for getting the word out. So let's pop the hood and take a look at how EcoBite plans to fuel its growth. The financial plan here is pretty smart because it's diversified. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket. They plan to make money from direct sales to businesses, handling huge bulk orders for things like festivals and weddings, and of course, selling to individual customers through their own website. And way down the line, those big export contracts become a major piece of the puzzle. And how will people even hear about EcoBite? Well, the strategy feels very modern and community-focused. We're talking big awareness campaigns on social media, running eco-campaigns in schools to educate the next generation, and partnering with sustainability influencers who already have a following. Plus, a very smart move for businesses, giving out free samples to get restaurants to try it and hopefully get hooked. So let's zoom out a bit. Beyond the product and the profit, what's the real-world impact of a business like this? And, maybe more importantly, what challenges does the plan actually see coming its way? This is where it gets really powerful. The impact is about more than just money. First, and most obviously, it's about directly reducing single-use plastic waste. But the model also plans to support local farmers by buying grains directly from them. And on a broader level, it just promotes the whole idea of sustainable living in a really tangible way. A really strong business plan doesn't just focus on the positives, it anticipates the problems. This one identifies 3 big risks. First, high production costs. The solution? Bulk sourcing and automation. Second, a short shelf life. The fix? Better packaging and more research. And finally, low consumer awareness. And the answer to that? All those education and sampling programs we just talked about. And in the end, it all comes back to this. The company's vision statement really says it all: to replace single-use plastic cutlery with sustainable, edible alternatives worldwide. It's not just about selling a product, it's about changing a global habit. It's a huge, ambitious goal. So, after all that, we're left with one big final question. We've seen the plan, the product, the ambition. It all looks pretty good on paper. But could something as simple, as almost funny, as an edible spoon, could it actually be a serious answer to our massive global plastic problem? It's definitely something to chew on.